Even the greatest scientists on Earth don't have an answer for everything. There are moments when it's simply impossible for them to possess the right knowledge to solve a problem, because that knowledge doesn't exist. It doesn't matter how long you spend analyzing the issue or trying to make sense of it, some things are just beyond explanation, as you're about to see. Number 15. Isaac Newton and the End of the World. Isaac Newton, remembered for revolutionizing physics and mathematics, had a lesser-known obsession that still raises eyebrows. He believed the Great Pyramids of Egypt held secrets about the apocalypse. In the late 1600s, Newton devoted a chunk of his genius not to gravity or calculus, but to deciphering the pyramids' dimensions. He was convinced they contained a sacred unit of measurement, one tied directly to divine order. According to his logic, cracking this code would allow him to determine Earth's true circumference and even pinpoint where and when the end of the world would begin. These bizarre ideas survived only by sheer luck. His dog knocked over a candle and scorched much of the manuscript. The surviving notes resurfaced in 2020, revealing Newton's obsession with ancient prophecy and hidden geometry. He believed this mysterious unit had cosmic significance, capable of revealing the planet's fate. It's proof that even the brightest minds sometimes spiral into strange convictions far outside their legacy, and no amount of genius exempts anyone from thinking wild thoughts. Number 14. Mysterious glass beads in Florida. For more than a decade, the Sarasota County Quarry in Florida has puzzled over tiny glass beads that keep turning up inside clamshells. The most compelling theory is that these aren't beads, they're microtectites forged by a meteorite impact more than 2 million years ago. Scientists believe such an event would have generated enough heat to vaporize both the meteor and the surrounding rock, launching molten debris into the sky. As these droplets cooled mid-air, they solidified into aerodynamic shapes and rained back down, some finally settling inside clamshells buried beneath layers of sediment. So far, 83 have been found, mostly in an old quarry. There's no crater nearby, but after 2 million years, any evidence of an impact site might be long erased. What's most bizarre is how the beads ended up sealed inside closed shells, whether through natural movement, sediment shift, or something stranger. However it happened, these perfectly formed glass spheres carry the memory of a long-forgotten cosmic collision. Number 13. The Peralta Stones and their silent map. Among Arizona's most puzzling relics are the Peralta Stones. These are 2 engraved sandstone tablets and a heart-shaped piece of red quartzite. When arranged together, the 3 form a pattern of 18 distinct dots across their surfaces, which some believe function as a primitive treasure map, possibly linked to the fabled Lost Dutchman's gold mine. The idea isn't as fake as it seems. Post-road maps like these were used in Mexico during the Mexican-American War, and the year 1847 is carved into the stone alongside a raised heart motif. What complicates the story is the complete lack of agreement on when or where these stones were actually found. Accounts place their emergence anywhere from 1949 to 1956. No one knows who unearthed them or how they ended up in Arizona. The theory that the dots represent a hidden trove of gold might be a reach, but whatever the truth is, they clearly stand for something. And until someone cracks the code, that something remains buried with the past. Do you have any idea about it? Number 12. The Devilsitz Heads of the Czech Republic. In the forested hills near Železy in the Czech Republic, 2 colossal stone faces gaze out from the landscape. Locals call them the Devil's Heads, though their features don't match traditional depictions of the devil. Sculpted in the 19th century by Czech artist Václav Levý, each head stands over 30 feet tall, their faces worn and warped by time. Even when first carved, they were considered unsettling. Now, after decades of erosion, their distorted expressions make them even more eerie. Levý never left behind a written explanation for their creation, and no Czech folklore figure resembles them. He also carved artificial caves nearby, suggesting he envisioned the area as a kind of sculptural world. But without direct notes or context, the reason behind the devil's heads remains pure speculation. Were they an artistic experiment, a personal vision, or just something meant to disturb? Whatever Levy's intent, the sculptures stand today as haunting, enigmatic sentinels with no clear meaning, just an unforgettable presence. Number 11. Little Foot. The skeleton known as Little Foot was unearthed in South Africa in the late 1990s and remains one of the most significant paleoanthropological finds ever recorded. Estimated to be 3.67 million years old, Littlefoot belonged to a previously unknown hominin species. The skeleton is nearly complete, rare for fossils of this age, and is believed to have been female. She stood around 4 feet 3 inches tall, walked upright, and lived with a damaged left arm caused by an injury in childhood. Excavation and research took over 2 decades, finally concluding in 2018. Her remains were so fragile that removing them from the surrounding rock in the Sterkfontein caves was painstakingly slow. The stone encasing her was harder than her own bones. Scientists believe she died after falling into the cave, and over time, her remains decalcified until her shoulder blades were paper thin. While many of her physical traits have been analyzed, one question remains unanswered: where exactly she fits within our human evolutionary history. Number 10. The electromagnetic enigma of Kosovo. In 2017, researcher and photographer Ismet Smeli stumbled upon a bizarre object while exploring the Kosovo mountains. What he found wasn't just a stone, it was a rounded mineral formation fused with copper coils, carved grooves, and symmetrical engravings. Unlike any known natural occurrence, the object showed properties that resembled a basic electrical transformer. Its design included insulating bands and embedded wire, not attached after the fact, but seemingly grown within the rock itself. Basic testing dated the artifact to around 20,000 years old, completely incompatible with any known electrical technology. Ismet refused to send the object for further testing, claiming he feared it would disappear. Since then, it sparked a swirl of theories, from ancient energy devices to unknown civilizations. The object's symmetrical structure and embedded copper defy geological logic, and no one's proposed a believable natural explanation. Whether it's a hoax, an anomaly, or something we simply don't yet understand, it remains one of the strangest objects ever pulled from the Balkan soil. Number 9. The Burney Relief. The authenticity of the Burney relief has sparked debate since it first surfaced in the 1930s, mostly because it emerged from a private European collection without documentation of where it was found. Despite the skepticism, most modern scholars now agree it's a genuine artifact of Babylonian origin, roughly 3,900 years old. Commonly referred to as the Queen of the Night, the terracotta plaque features a nude female figure with wings and taloned feet, flanked by owls and lions. The image is remarkably well preserved, but who she represents remains unresolved. Some believe she is Eresh-Kigel, the goddess of the underworld. Others argue for Ishtar, the goddess of love and war. The uncertainty hasn't dulled its importance. It remains one of the most iconic depictions of Mesopotamian female deities ever found. Despite endless debate, there's no consensus, and probably never will be. But the relief's level of detail and preservation make it one of the most haunting and captivating images to survive from the ancient world. Number 8. Panoia Sanctuary. Hidden in Portugal's Vila Real district lies a mysterious site carved into natural boulders known as the Sanctuary of Panoias. It features 3 huge rocks that have been hollowed with rectangular basins and channels, forming a layout that suggests ancient rituals took place here. The most curious part isn't just the size or symmetry of the carvings, it's the total absence of any chisel or tool marks. Despite inscriptions in Latin and Greek referencing ceremonies performed with water collected in the cavities, these were clearly added much later. The original basins, likely created long before the Roman presence in the region, were made using unknown techniques. The majority of experts agree that people living here only had access to rudimentary hand tools, yet the stone looks as though it was shaped by machines. The lack of traceable cuts or tool scratches raises serious questions about how these rectangular hollows were formed. Whoever made them either used methods lost to time or tools we still don't recognize. Number 7. The 7000 figurine in Batafrata Cave. When archaeologists in Italy were exploring the spectacular Battifrata cave, they did not expect to unearth a rare clay female figurine. And neither were they ready for the dating of the piece, which determined the artifact was built some 7,000 years ago. It was found close to an ancient spring near the cave's entrance, suggesting it played a role in ceremonial rituals. Archaeologists believe the doll may have been used in fertility rites or burial traditions, hinting at prehistoric spiritual practices. The cave's labyrinthine interior is lined with stalactites and stalagmites, adding a dramatic backdrop to the discovery. The artifact's design, especially its carved hairstyle and decorated body, shows an impressive level of detail for its age. Though the facial features remain deliberately abstract, the craftsmanship points to a skilled artisan. The excavation, led by the Sapienza Grand Excavations Fund, is part of a broader research initiative studying prehistoric settlements in the Farfa Valley. Similar figures found in northern Italy suggest a wider cultural pattern connecting early farming, fertility symbolism, and sacred landscape use. Number 6. The Parthenon Centaur Head Stain. For nearly 200 years, a puzzling brown stain on the centaur's head from the Parthenon's mythological frieze has defied explanation. Housed in the National Museum of Denmark, the sculpture features a dark coating that scientists still can't explain, even after exhaustive analysis. A team from the University of Southern Denmark ran tests including advanced spectroscopy and protein detection. They found no evidence of paint, organic residues, or cleaning treatments. Earlier guesses, oxidation, air pollution, or biological growth don't match the chemical profile. The stain consists of two distinct layers of oxalate minerals, both formed under unknown conditions. The centaur head was kept indoors well before industrial air pollution, ruling out many environmental causes. Even with today's technology, researchers can't say where the stain came from or how it formed. It's not decorative, it's not intentional, it's just there, and it won't go away. This stubborn discoloration remains one of archaeology's strangest open questions, a reminder that even in controlled conditions, ancient artifacts still find ways to resist full understanding. Number 5. Strange tracks at the bottom of the Pacific. There's a section of the Pacific Ocean floor that has left scientists baffled for decades. Located hundreds of miles from the nearest shoreline, it's covered with deep, symmetrical tracks etched into the seafloor silt, markings that resemble the drag lines of heavy machinery. But no known sea creature could have created them, and there are no records of mining or dredging this far offshore. The grooves first appeared in submersible photographs taken in 1989 and haven't changed since. Some theorists once suggested deep-sea mining vehicles, but none have ever operated this far from land. The patterns are too smooth, too deliberate, and too linear to be explained by natural forces or ocean currents. They stretch across the floor with a consistency that feels artificial, almost mechanical. Later dives confirmed that the grooves still exist, undisturbed. That consistency over decades only deepens the mystery. Whether they were made recently or thousands of years ago, no one has been able to explain who or what left those trails behind. Number 4. The Derveni Papyrus. The Derveni Papyrus, unearthed near Thessaloniki in 1962, is now widely accepted as Europe's oldest surviving book, but it came dangerously close to being lost forever. It was found in over 200 charred fragments, so badly burned that it took until 2006 to fully decipher. Scholars place the document's age between 2,300 and 2,500 years. Its authorship is uncertain, but candidates include Diagoras of Melos and Euthyphron of Prespalta. The scroll itself is a tangled blend of religious ritual, philosophy, and early science. It offers instructions for sacrifices to specific gods, alongside poetic verses attributed to Orpheus, and even observations that reflect the tension between faith and emerging scientific logic. One leading expert, Richard Janko, believes it may have been an attempt to reconcile science and theology during a period of intellectual conflict. If Diagoras was behind it, the papyrus might have contributed to his execution for impiety. Whatever its original purpose, it stands as a testament to ancient minds. Number 3. Submerged stone wall in the Baltic. A stunning find off Germany's Baltic coast is forcing scholars to rethink what Stone Age people were capable of. A submerged stone wall, named the Blinker Wall, stretches nearly half a mile under the Bay of Mecklenburg and could be Europe's oldest human-made megastructure. Lying 15 feet underwater, the wall is estimated to be over 11,000 years old, built when the area was still dry and likely bordered a lake or marsh. It's made of roughly 1,400 smaller stones methodically placed to connect almost 300 huge boulders, an incredible feat for small prehistoric groups. It was discovered by accident during a student sonar mapping trip. Scientists believe it may have served as a hunting trap to funnel reindeer into narrow kill zones, either between two walls or against the lake's edge. The way the structure curves around massive stones shows human design, not natural formation. Weighing over 142 tons, this construction may be the oldest known example of large-scale hunting architecture in this holy world. Number 2. Human footprints in Morocco. On a Moroccan beach, researchers have uncovered 85 human footprints dating back roughly 90,000 years, some of the most well-preserved ancient tracks ever found. Led by Monsef Sadrati from the University of Southern Brittany, the team identified 2 overlapping trails left by at least 5 individuals, including adults, teens, and kids. These tracks give a rare and intimate glimpse into the daily movement and social structure of early Homo sapiens. They're also the only known human footprints of this age in both North Africa and the southern Mediterranean. What makes their preservation possible are the unique coastal and geological conditions that protected them for millennia. By using optically stimulated luminescence dating, researchers confirmed that the prints come from the late Pleistocene, during the last ice age. These prints are more than fossilized steps. They're silent testimony to how early humans lived, moved, and coexisted in harsh and changing climates. And sadly, like other ancient things, the whole story is a mystery. Number 1. The underground city of Kaymakli. Underground cities are often imagined in fiction, but Turkey is home to several real ones, none more impressive than Kaymakli. Considered the largest ancient subterranean complex in the country, it remains one of archaeology's most astonishing mysteries. Believed to have been first settled nearly 4,000 years ago, the original purpose behind its creation is still debated. Most scholars suggest that its residents built it to escape raiding tribes and hostile invasions sweeping across the region. What makes Kaymakli so amazing is how complex and carefully laid out it is. The city spans 8 levels underground, only 4 are currently open to visitors, and includes designated spaces for food storage, winemaking, cooking, and even communal performances. The architectural precision needed to build this system deep beneath the earth and likely in darkness is staggering. Each room and tunnel fits neatly into the layout. How ancient builders achieved this with simple tools and no fancy lighting remains unexplained, but the results are still standing today. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share, and hit that subscribe button for more content like this. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.